foul. That was absolutely ridiculous.
The Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
Up on down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
I don't know. It's tough. Tom's up there, man. Being tough.
Well, I've been a fan of Boston Celtics for, my whole life pretty much.
First Celtics game was back when I was like 7
The
years old.
Boston Celtics became legendary.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys should be given a huge round of applause, a huge thank you to the person that this hat was supposed to go to originally, but because of some events that just happened, I'd say a couple days ago, this hat's no longer going to them. This hat's going to one of you people. A signed Jaylen Brown Boston Celtics draft hat. Yes, this was the draft hat from the 2024 season, but still pretty cool. I got this signed June 7th of this year at a meet and greet at the 741 pop-up shop. This was supposed to be going to somebody who I was close to at the time, but now, unfortunately, with things falling out, this is no longer going to them. This is now going to one of you guys, and I never did a 3K giveaway because my next giveaway was going to be at 4K. I still stand by that as the rules apply to the giveaway that I posted on my YouTube page. Go to the community page on my YouTube channel so you can see the full rules, the full details of how you can win this specific hat right here. Kind of felt bad that I didn't do a 3K giveaway. But at the same time, I was waiting for 4K to do my next giveaway. And I decided, seeing that all this stuff just happened not too long ago, and I shouldn't say out of spite of it, but like, kind of out of spite of it. You know what I mean? I decided to announce the next giveaway for you guys, as you guys were the first thing that came to my head when I saw this. And I figured, hey, one of you people will absolutely love getting this hat. So we are giving away this hat. I did wear this the entire 2024 season, so don't mind some of the sweat marks that are over here, because there were some games that I went to and I was absolutely nervous. And that signature itself is very clear, but the one thing with the signature is that I got this signed in the pouring rain. So it's a little bit wet. Well, the signature got a little bit wet, but it's still very clear. The signature still came out very clear. It was signed by JB. I can confirm it. Mike can confirm it, as he was there with me for this signing. So we're doing this giveaway. We're doing this giveaway to one of you people for a little thank you for all the love and support and being there for me when I need it at the absolute most. So that's why we're doing this giveaway as well. The winner will be announced, though, when I hit 4K. When I hit 4K, that's when the winner of this hat will be announced. So tell your friends, family, who the hell ever to go subscribe to this YouTube channel right now, because they might have a chance to win this hat. In this video here, though, we are reacting to, will the Celtics be Cancun or playoff bound? I've seen a lot of people say that this should be a bridge year where the Celtics should tank. I totally disagree with that. I think this team, at the bare minimum, at the very bare minimum, are a play-in team. Now, there's a lot of question marks going into play. The bigs are a huge issue. We're not going to be able to shoot as many threes as last year, so how will players adjust to that play style? How will players adjust from that play style to a different play style? But ultimately, at the end of the day, I look at the Celtics roster, and I still see this team being in that playoff mix. There's one big question mark out there that still lies ahead. I don't know if they're going to get into it in this video here, but maybe we'll get into it at the end. But there's a huge question mark out there that could change the trajectory of this Celtics season. Now, they could make some moves at the trade deadline. It's really going to determine then what the Celtics are going to look like for the season. But at the end of the day, are the Celtics championship contenders, though? I say no. Are the Celtics playoff bound? I think they should be. I personally see the Celtics finishing at best the 5th. I have bare minimum 4 teams better than the Celtics. If you were to ask me, though, I would say 5 teams that are better than the Celtics. I would put, if healthy, the Atlanta Hawks better than the Boston Celtics right now. In my opinion, they made a lot of great moves. They got KP. If he stays healthy and returns to his old form, I think they can make some noise. I do have a take on KP at the end of this video, however. I see the Celtics as a 6 seed, 7 seed, 8 seed, somewhere around that area. That's where I have them ranked for this upcoming season. I could be wrong, totally 100%. Maybe Charlotte will finally take that leap that they've been dreading to take. Who knows? Because I think Charlotte could be very underrated, but like I've been saying that for so long and they just haven't done anything. But will the Celtics be Cancun or playoff bound? I think playoff bound, but that's just my opinion at the end of the day. We'll see what Rachel Nichols and Chris Mannix has to say on this video here. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoy these type of videos. Subscribe now if you guys are new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. The link is in the description down below. And without further ado, let's hop straight in the video.
Cancun divisions,
No,
we call
no,
that?
we're not there yet.
We're not there yet. You have one more.
I want to talk to you about the Celtics.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's a good segue because I've got Boston at the top of my Cancun division. So you give me the argument.
Top of the Cancun. So you saying they're finishing dead last?
The Celtics
What?
are going to be better than people think.
So let's pretend Jason Tatum just wasn't on the Celtics, right?
Okay.
Not that he's hurt,
Fair.
not that he's
Yeah.
missing.
That's
not
a
that
that's a fair way
their
to
offensive
put this
team is missing.
situation.
Let's just pretend he's not part of the team. Look at that team, which I know has made some cuts to get under the apron.
That's an understatement. Yes.
Yes. But Jaylen Brown won the finals MVP a year and 2 months ago?
Mm.
It was not a
Yeah.
fluke. He won the conference finals MVP.
Right.
I understand he's not Tatum. I don't think that argument is that close. I think Tatum is an underrated player. As highly as people think of him, as much as he's been an MVP finalist, I think he's underrated and undervalued for what he's done.
Yeah.
I think Jaylen is not
Agreed.
in that category. But let's not pretend he's not one of the better players in the NBA.
Right. I totally
When I
agree with that
say,
statement.
Who's that killer in Miami? I know who it is in Boston. And can you really argue with me that the supporting cast in Boston is so much worse than the names you were just throwing out in Miami?
Yes. Only because while I think the Celtics have a contending wing contingent led by Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, those guys have proven they
Yes.
can win at a high level.
You're forgetting
Can
Simons
you tell me
though.
who the starting center is on opening night?
Yeah, Neemias
Right
Queta.
now it's looking like Neemias Queta.
Right.
Can you tell me
Neemias
who the starting
Queta.
power
Get it right.
forward is on that team? Like, are they going to shift Brown to power forward and play Hauser at the 3? And
No. Okay. So I don't know when this video says I think he said 2 weeks ago. So you should have known that Chris Boucher was on this team by then. Boucher will be the starting 4. Queta will be the starting 5. Brown will be the 3. White will be the 2. Pritchard will be the 1. That's how I have this starting lineup going. I have Anthony Simons coming off the bench. But I simply have him coming off the bench because, one, Peyton Pritchard deserves to have the starting point guard role. He played that last year. He absolutely deserves to get that role. And I think the offense will be better off with Pritchard because it's more familiar than it would be with Simons. Number 2, I think Simons relies heavily with the ball in his hands more than he does off the ball. So I think him coming off the bench, being the first guy coming off the bench and being that spark, will benefit him more than it would be him in the starting lineup with this team. That's a pretty solid 6-man coming off the bench for the Celtics team. Now, I have my feelings on Anthony Simons where I still feel like they should trade him off to get a big, maybe another wing. That's how I feel at this moment on what they should do with him. But let's just say that he's on this team. Dude could embrace the Isaiah Thomas role when he first got here. Right? Good starter on a bad team. Comes in, embraces the 6-man role, and just absolutely goes to work. Could see that happening. My whole thing with Anthony Simons, though, is the defense. How is the defense going to look? Can he improve himself on the defensive end? Because if he can, then that's going to be the difference between playing an actual playoff team. If he is a very, very good offensive player, though, maybe that offsets the defense. We're going to have to wait and see in that, but Simons, Hauser on the bench. I'm high on Baylor Scheinman this year. He showed you some great things last season. Even Jordan Wall showed you some good things last year. But again, you're still lacking that big man depth. And how good is Jordan Walsh going to look in games? How good is Baylor Scheinman going to look in games right away? I don't know of that. So we're going to have to wait and see on that.
If you can get something out of Anthony Simons, look, the Celtics need help in that front court. I just don't think you can.
We can both agree on this.
You can do anything but maybe get into the playoff field with that front court. And they're not operating like a team that's interested in doing that.
Well, that's the issue, right?
They
Because
traded Jordan Yang. Jordan Yang would have been that guy that started power forward. They gave him away. They just gave him away to Utah.
Chris Boucher, you're still forgetting about him, but okay.
That is functioning like a team that wants to get through this year, don't get anybody really injured, and get a high draft pick. They have control of their 2026 pick, and that's going to matter to them in the offseason.
That is going to matter. It is.
Or trading it away. They're not operating like a team that really gives a damn about this season, at least from the front office perspective.
No, I mean, that is the argument against, right? Is that Jason Tatum is on this team, and he is injured, and he is going to come back, and so their plans are not for, great, how do we go forward with this team and make it the best we can be right now? That's just not the situation
right.
either. I don't know. I can't help but feel that I believe in Joe as a coach. I think that...
I think he's going to be interesting this year. Joe...
Yeah, it's a big year for Joe.
Coached a team that wasn't
good.
elite. With
right.
championship. He took over a team that went to the finals in 2022. So it's going to be interesting to see how he deals with
adjusts,
because I think that's what they're in for.
Because Joe cannot play the same style of basketball that he's been able to do. He just simply can't do that. This team's not built to do that. He's going to have to go to the basket a little bit more. He's going to have to be a little more grit and grind on the defensive end. I know defense has been a big thing for this team in the past or whatever, but now every defensive possession matters for them. And each and every individual is going to have to hold their own. Whereas opposed, they could switch on everything. Now they can't.
I think Jalen's going to be first team All-NBA this year. I think he's an average.
He's going to have a solid year.
I agree. That's the thing. I think he's going to have a monster year.
But we've seen, Giannis had a monster.
Here's me. Here's Jaylen Brown. Both of us have something to prove this season.
Sounds like a deal.
If you've been following my Instagram story, you can probably maybe put 2 and 2 together.
Monster year last year, his team was in the middle of the pack in the Western Conference, or the Eastern Conference.
Yeah.
And I think Giannis had a little bit more.
Middle of the pack is what we're talking about.
But I'm talking I think they're a play-in type team. I do. I think, Giannis had Dame for most of the year. He had Brook Lopez. He had the core of a team that had won a championship, or at least gone to the playoffs before. Again, I don't want to be slapping around Namus Keita, but if he's the starting center on opening night, they let Luke Cornett go.
If Keita was the backup center,
if they
I feel a little bit more better about them.
Right now,
I get that point.
They may try to get under the tax. If they can find anybody that will take the contract of Anthony Simons, they might add a sweetener to that,
right.
and say, hey, just to get under the tax and start to put ourselves in a position that can make us successful in 2026 and beyond.
Yeah, I mean that's all fair. I just feel like it's a little bit like Tatum's hurt. They made these cost-cutting moves, and everyone's like, "Ugh, they're going to be terrible."
If they had not traded Niang, I might have been able to get on board with you. Like, but Niang's a serviceable NBA player. Like, he's been on winning teams before.
You're really underrating
Trade
Chris
him for
Boucher.
nothing. Just
I can't
out
believe-
from under that.
I think
cover.
you're really
They
underrating
are,
Chris
but, like,
Boucher.
Successfully, you are talking me out of
I know.
Celtics.
Look, I think it's the right thing to
endorsement.
do, though. I think how they're operating is smart. Like,
Yeah.
get that draft pick, because then you can draft a guy either in the lottery or take that pick and trade it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you go into 2027, 26, 27, with Brown, Tatum, White, all under contract. Sam Howard's got a great contract. He's
Yeah.
under contract for 2 or 3
I'd
more
still
years.
trade him, but that's
So
just me.
You're able, I think, to jump right back into the mix in 2026, 27. I just think this year is going to be a lost year for Boston.
They're going to have a lot of salary cap available next offseason. If KP, should say, has another year like last year, but like is clearly not as good, let's put it like that, as his prime year when he was here, Boston might be able to get him back for cheap. If they can get him back for cheap, there's still I still think there's a chance for KP to return to this Celtics team after this season. I think he's one of the guys where he knew a trade was coming, wasn't heartbroken over it. He understood the situation, and he was probably one of the guys that had to have been dealt because of that situation. Now though, where Boston's going to have somewhat of flexibility next offseason, maybe they get him on a cheaper deal, like maybe 15, 20 mil, somewhere around there. Maybe. Who knows? One of my friends and I were talking about this Saturday, where it sucks with the second apron and everything else. The timing of it, where the Celtics had to, should I say blow up the team, but like they had to kind of deconstruct it a little bit to make the second apron work. But KP's one of those guys that you see and you say, there's a chance he could come back after this season.
So Team Cancun is what you're saying.
Team Cancun.
That's
and
the
they're-
third tier.
And I don't want to waste too much time. I don't know, is there
Yeah.
any team that really interests you in the back? Like, Chicago is like a team
I
stuck in neutral.
have no faith in Chicago. I'm sorry.
The
Me
ball
neither.
for
Sure,
a
they'll
deal.
make me eat my words, but I can't get there.
That'd be cool if Vucevic becomes a
Yeah, I
buyout
mean,
player.
Like, I like.
Celtics should be all
so
over
he can
that.
Play a little bit, but the only thing people know about him is he got dunked on by Johnny Furphy this summer, and that was
Where are you on the Pacers?
no.
No.
That's another team. Oh, look, they'll be feisty, and maybe they can be a play-in team.
Yeah.
But, you know, who's scoring with that group? Who
I
takes
agree.
over
I
with
agree.
that
I'm
group?
just
Like,
curious. I didn't know if you had greater hopes than
The
I
team
did.
that I think is there are two teams that are interesting in the back of this pack.
Okay.
Toronto, because they're going to get Brandon Ingram
Yes.
into that mix. He didn't play at all last year after being acquired from New Orleans.
Wait,
I
he
like
didn't?
Colin Murray-Boyles.
I thought he did.
Yeah, I might be in a small group, but I thought he was a really good draft pick for them. He's got a little bit of what they like in Toronto, which is that versatility, defensive toughness, can do a bunch of different things at multiple positions. They've got a few guys that can do that. So if Ingram comes in, gets back to being an all-star, maybe they can be interesting. Charlotte, I think they're going to be better this year
Yeah.
if they can keep everybody on the floor, but they're so young at so many spots. Like, you know, it's
Yeah, Charlotte's gonna be interesting.
You know, the answer right away opposite LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller. I don't know. They're the 29th in offense.
To be honest with you guys, Charlotte was on my list to go visit this year, but
I
Ugh.
just want to see
I plead the fifth on why that might be
all
changing.
three of those core guys, LaMelo, Miller, Knipple, on the floor. And
I still haven't decided if I still want to go there or
and
not.
then we'll see in the year after if they can play at all. But yeah, I think we're talking about first round fodder for the rest of that group.
Yeah. Them and the Bulls, like, again, and the Bulls, by the way, I think are in better shape than the Hornets, but
Bulls better shape than the Hornets? I don't know about
doesn't
that
feel
one.
like there's a motor propelling those franchises forward.
Yeah.
And then you have the teams that are trying to lose, like the Wizards. And
Yeah, I don't even count that. They don't. The Wizards are team cap space. Half cap space.
The main factor that I have still in play, possibly for this Celtics team, Al Horford. Now, it really determines what Golden State does with Jonathan Kuminga. Because they offered Jonathan Kuminga a 3-year, $75 million contract. So, $25 million AAV, he declined it. Why? That one I don't understand. I don't know why he thinks he's a $30 million player. When he only played 47 games for them last year. I mean, he played 74 the year prior in 2024. But last year, he didn't play many games. I don't know why he don't accept that, to be honest with you. I think that's a good contract for him. I think it's a lot of money. It might even be an overpay. So why is he not accepting that? No idea. I could not tell you. If Golden State retains Jonathan Kuminga, which right now for Kuminga, it looks like they're the only option because nobody's really offering him that big of a contract besides Golden State. If Kuminga re-signs with the Warriors, then the Warriors will only be able to sign the mid-level, like the taxpayers mid-level exception, and sign vet minimums because they'll be in the first apron. That's the same situation the Celtics are in right now. And the Celtics will have enough money to give Al Horford that full $5 million MLE. So, if the Celtics can get Al Horford back, that changes the trajectory of this season. That makes the Celtics a playoff team. They'll be in that 6 or 5 seed, in my opinion. They'll be one of those two. They will not be a play-in team. But right now, it's the lack of that big man depth. Is where I'm like, I could see them anywhere between play-in, like, 9 to, like, 6. I realistically say 6. But that's going to do it for this video here. Leave a thumbs up if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe now if you guys new. You guys know what to do. Go check out our website. Links in the description down below. If you guys want to be notified whenever we drop a video, hit that notification bell so you can be the first one to watch these videos. If you guys want to enter the signed Jaylen Brown Celtics draft tag giveaway, the info on that will be on my community page here on this YouTube channel. And thank you guys for watching this one here. It's been your boy Jesse, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Later, guys.